Friends, we thank you for your response to our last installment comparing the Taurus Judge to the Bond Arms Ranger. One question that we continue to get is how does that Ranger from Bond Arms, the two-shot Derringer, handle a 45 long Colt cartridge? And this is the one we're talking about today. This compared to the 45 ACP, you can see the difference in size. They're both going to be hollow point variety. This is the 45 long Colt, which actually dates back to 1872. You've seen this used in countless westerns. This happens to be a 200 grain load, and we're going to demonstrate not only in just a moment how it responds to a standard target, but also we're going to show some penetration. In fact, let's go over to the target. Always remember eye protection and ear protection whenever firing a weapon. The Bond Arms Ranger shoots both a 410 3-inch and, as we're going to demonstrate here, the 45 long Colt. Always remember, load away from you and engage the same way, upside down and then around. And we're going to begin with the bottom barrel first against the target from 10 feet. Certainly within the strike zone. Let's try the second shot. This is the top barrel. All right, this is pretty good. Again, 10 feet away, certainly within the center part of the target. Now let's show some penetration. All right, so we're going to take that 45 long Colt shell, we're going to load it into our Bond Arms Ranger, and we're going to take a shot at some pork rib here. We're going to wrap it up in some paper, and we're going to wrap it in some cotton, 100% cotton t-shirt material, just to see how that particular cartridge responds to a target. All right, here we go. Let's take a shot at our target. That's where it went in, and that's where it came out, and it completely shattered a supporting brick. All right, let's shoot a pork roast. Same firing, the 45 long Colt against a fairly fat piece of meat. Straight through the material, and there you can see, straight through. Small coming in, larger going out. Entering, exiting. All right, our meat market demonstration continues. We're using the Bond Arms Ranger. We've got Federal triple-aught buck, 2.5-inch. We're going to fire it into some ribs, pork ribs. All right, here's a look at the pork rib. You can see the wad, and a pretty effective penetration there. That's the entrance, and here is the exit. Front, back. All right, let's take another firing with the Bond Arms Ranger from 10 feet with the 410 triple-aught buck Federal round. Boy, check this out. Straight through, pretty thick cut of meat. Now let's finish off this piece of meat with a 410 load. This is 4-shot in the Bond Arms Ranger. Oh, we lost our meat. Pork rib's seen its better day, but there is the 410 wad, 410 4-shot entrance and exit. Did pretty mean trick on that pork rib. This was the 45 long Colt, and you can see that the spray just with the 4-shots pretty wide from the entrance area. So with 4-shot, this takes pretty good care of a piece of meat. Very effective in a social situation, especially against pork. Now I'm kind of hungry. Let's put this baby on the grill. It's time for a Texas barbecue. Let's eat. Happy trails.